107.5 WBLS, Rakia Mays. Honored to be here at Circle of Sisters with a legendary journalist. We know his face and we know his name. Honored to be sitting with Ed Gordon.
How are you?
You know, I'm doing okay.
When anybody says legend, that just means you're old. That's all.
Is that what that means?
That's
Is that what that means? You know, I think it means esteemed when I say
I'll take
legendary.
it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Good, good. So this year, when we were discussing this off camera, how many years does this make that you've been in journalism?
I'm rocking about 30 plus now.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, they haven't found out yet, so I just keep coming back.
Yeah, you're still doing it.
Yeah.
So 30 years, you've seen a lot. You have history, and you are here at Circle of Sisters. You're moderating a panel. It's called Stronger Together, Confronting the State of Black America in 2017. That's a heavy title. When you hear that, and there are a lot of issues that we're dealing with as a community, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is we need to stop having these panels and get in the street and really do something. You know, I've been doing this for a long time, as we just talked about, and I've been doing these kind of panels for a long time. And quite frankly, I do fewer and fewer of them because we end up doing the panels and no work. I keep hearing about staying woke, but I'm wondering what we're doing while we're woke, right? So the work is what changes things. Fists up in the air is fine. Kneeling on the football field is fine. And I salute all those young brothers and sisters that are doing that, and I support it. But I also know you've got to do the work outside of that. And so we need to go from symbolism to kind of rolling up our sleeves and really making sure that we're doing things that make a change. And I'm not sure we've been doing that of late. And so I hope that with what we're seeing from this White House and the anger that's building, that we move that anger to work and movement.
Right, right. And I think for us as journalists, we all have a role to play, regardless if we're journalists or artists or whatever it may be. But in the age of fake news, what role does journalism play?
Well, I think that we've got to hold people accountable. I mean, this whole sense of fake news, I don't think that the news has really gone after Trump other than when our feelings are hurt. And then it's a pushback. But to do some real investigative journalism to make sure that we keep the facts in front of everything, this Monday, we've got our next episode of Ed Gordon, the quarterly news magazine on Bounce, and we're featuring Maxine Waters. Did a profile with her, went to Los Angeles and Washington, spent time with her. And Maxine is one of those people who's been out here for a long time. Mm-hmm. And though we call her Auntie Maxine now, and everybody's talking about reclaim my time, and that's fine. But when she calls for support for a vote she's doing that isn't quite as sexy as a tagline like reclaim my time, we've got to be there for her. We've got to make sure that we're supporting people and going to the polls. When Maxine Waters said go vote for Hillary Clinton, we didn't in large enough numbers in that we now have Donald Trump in the White House. And so we've got to get a new narrative, and we've got to change that game. We're also sitting down with Steve Harvey. Steve has taken a lot of hits, and his biggest hit over the last couple of years is when he met with Trump, and he talks about that. And so there is this kind of sense of, for black folk, can you deal with somebody like Trump on any level? And if you do deal with him, are you an Uncle Tom, or are you really dealing with him because you want something from him? So we fall in a very interesting place right now. And I think we've got to be serious about what we're doing. Mm-hmm.
If you had an opportunity today to interview President Trump, what would you ask him?
I don't know that I would. And I'll be honest with you. I mean, I've never walked away from an interview. I had my day in the sun the other day with Omarosa.
Right. Well,
and I guess I would sit down with him, but quite frankly, I don't think he'd say anything worthwhile. And I think when you sit down with someone, you know, you want to sit down with someone that you at least believe will be truthful in their truth to you when you're asking questions. I'm not sure that he falls in any type of truth zone, so to speak. And so I'd really have to sit down with myself and ask myself whether it would be worth it and whether I'd get anything out of the 10 minutes they gave me, 20 minutes they gave me, that was worth my time or effort, quite frankly.
If you were in control, you could close your eyes and you are the awe-empowering king of the world, so to speak, hypothetically, and you could snap your fingers and things would be just as you'd like them to be. What would that world look like?
I just want an opportunity for all of us. My daughter's 23. We talked about me being in the business so long. My kind of light is shown, and I've had my day in the sun. But for young people coming up, I just want them to have true opportunity, real opportunity that pits you equally. When you're either fighting against someone for a job, or an opportunity sits in front of you, that the color of your skin doesn't hold you back, that it really is what King talked about, the content of your character, the effort that you put in, the work you put in. I think that's all black folk have ever wanted, quite frankly, since we were brought here. Since you snatched us up and brought us here, at least give us a fair shot at it.
That's right.
And that's what I would look for.
Right. Thank
Yeah.
you so much just for stimulating us always
Thank
and
you.
continuing the work for the community.
Thank you.
Ed Gordon, everyone. It's WBLS.